Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 30 Day Trial Podcast. My name is Sumner, and I am brought to you today by my sponsor, Mick Arcade. How are you doing, Mick Arcade?
Hello. Um,
Hello.
I'll put it out on Front Street. I we're not normally, excuse me. Certain members of this podcast are not typically this prompt, so I am slightly unprepared.
That's quite all right. So, so, so,
And by
so,
certain members, I definitely mean me.
and if
So,
you and if you use Playodic discount code Mick, you'll get 30% off Mick.
I don't think anybody wants any percent off, Mick. I think
Well,
I think
anyway,
having
so
yeah.
thank you everyone for being here. My name is Sumner, and I'm joined today by Mick. Say hi, Mick.
Hi. I took a nap and it was pretty great.
Dude, I got new medication, and so I don't know if that's so I'm feeling good. So apparently I learned this about 10 minutes before we went live. I don't know if
Yay.
anyone is familiar with Mr. Andrew Callahan. But he is the man behind I don't know if y'all remember this channel, the All Gas No Brakes. He was always like at Trump rallies and shit. He was always like doing like a bunch of like interviews that you would be very surprised that he was able to achieve. Uh
Oh, is this the guy that, like, will just ask people, like, "If this is Antifa behind this,
yeah.
why would they do that? Wouldn't they want Joe Bi" Is it that guy?
Oh, the
The
guy
Daily
from
Show
The Daily
correspondent?
Show? No.
Yeah.
No, no, no.
Oh.
Same, very similar actually. But he's more of like a comedian that like takes the front stage. This guy is more like it's incredible what he's able to get people to say just by smiling and nodding. And he's got big frizzy hair. He's usually wearing the khaki vest, the khaki jacket and pants. He's got a long
Yeah.
tie. He's got like some acne, and so he's very like it looks weird that he's able to get what he's able to get. Anyway, um, his name's Andrew Callahan, and he is a lot of I can go into it, but he was basically the main talent on All Gas No Brakes. It was basically taken away from him, Smosh style, and he started his own thing.
Yeah.
Um, and he actually got a most recently a documentary on HBO about January 6th, the
Mm.
insurrection riots at the Capitol.
Sure.
Because
Good for him.
he was at a bunch of Trump rallies. He got an RV and was going like from rally to rally to rally. He ended up getting interviews with what's his fucking face stuff? Turn the freaking frogs gay, Alex Jones.
Oh, Alex Jones,
Um,
yeah.
and he got like drunk with Alex Jones. Like, well, it was insane what he was able to do, and all of it's in this documentary on HBO Max. This is not sponsored. I just highly recommend it. We are really big fans of him. And then about 10 minutes ago, we learned that we had some extremely disappointing news that he had sexual assault allegations. So
Yikes.
it's like, what the fuck is not? Why? Just ask for consent. It's so
Mhm.
difficult. You know. Anyway, I'm upset about that a little bit because it's like there's a couple people I follow on the internet and stuff, and when you find out that like, damn, you can't like them anymore because you see them differently now, and it's like, God, I'm sick of that happening.
No,
Like
I definitely
Kanye, don't get me started. Not that I was a huge fan of him to begin with, but
I never, I'll be honest, I never, I never got it.
Kanye?
Like, yeah, never thought he was
Oh, okay, so not your thing. That's
Look,
fine. I mean,
I
I was
love
never
hip
a
hop.
huge fan. I
I
liked his
never
music though.
maybe I didn't get it, but I just never understood, well, he's this genius and blah blah blah. I'm like, he's got a couple of decent songs, but like he's no Kendrick Lamar. um
I
Pardon me,
greatly prefer Kendrick Lamar, but
Pulitzer Prize winning Kendrick Lamar. He won a Pulitzer Prize for his album Damn. So
oh yeah, I forgot about that. Was
if
that
you are a rapper and you haven't won a Pulitzer Prize, you need to step your fucking game up. That's all
what
I'm
was
saying.
that 2020 that came out?
No, it came out in like
2017? God,
yeah.
time flies.
Yeah, I was gonna say no, it was a
I feel
while
like
ago.
that's still to me his new album.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
Like,
6 years ago now. Oh my
yeah.
god.
What time? It's the most
Wow.
stalking predator of us all, my friend.
Wow, I hate
No.
that.
So yeah, like,
That was
nah,
Trump's
I never
second
really
year.
I never really got so, like, the fact that he's gotten, like, crazier and crazier and crazier,
And
eh,
now
I
mega
never
anti-Semitic. Like, whoa, didn't
part
see that
okay,
coming.
okay,
Some bingo
so
cards are getting
I
obsolete.
I I will say this, I do think some of it, not all of it, some of it is him playing into not a I hate need to use the word, like, playing into a character, but I think that's part of what it is. It's one of those things of, like, it gets a I'm not excusing it by any means, mind you, like, it's horrid. It's horrid the shit that he said. However, I do think he's kind of like the same in a lot of guys, sorta like our good friend, arrested via pizza box, Andrew Tate. You know, fucking talk about you didn't have some on your bingo card.
Yeah. Apparently, there was
Like
news yesterday that he got like assaulted in jail. Yeah. Well, someone tweeted on his Twitter account. Obviously, it can't be him because he's incarcerated. But no one really knows how Romanian jails work. But it was like, can't keep this down or whatever. I
yeah,
forgot what the exact tweet was, but it was like it's either him or his brother that was actually That's what the speculation comes from. Is that either Andrew Tate or his partner in crime slash brother
yeah,
was injured in jail. So we're hoping for the best, meaning both of them. But
yeah,
continue.
that it was both of them.
Yeah.
But now what I was saying is like, I don't want to say it's playing into a character, but it's like, oh, I got attention for doing this thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go harder into doing this thing to get even more attention.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, I think that is part of it. It's not all of it, of course, but
Yeah.
I think that it's part of it.
Did you watch the Kanye documentary on Netflix?
Nah, because I
It's
didn't care.
fascinating. That's fine. Well, if you don't care about Kanye, then you wouldn't care.
Yeah,
But his story is objectively very interesting. Like he had an
it is.
extremely supportive, wholesome mother that
Mhm.
knew the lyrics to his songs and everything, like all about it. He had friends that were very, very supportive. He was always like the kid Kanye type thing. He was like the up and coming constantly. Um, and honestly, the entire thing was filmed by his like I don't want to say childhood, but like his early career friend
Yeah,
that always filmed everything. So he still had all the footage of Kanye and all of like the small things that they were doing when they were hanging out, going to eat when no one recognized anyone. It's very very interesting.
yeah,
And then you just see like this decline in interest in people that weren't yes man.
mm,
So if he had an idea that was like groundbreaking or whatever whatever grandeur that he was summoning, and
yeah.
anyone disagreed, he was like, "Well, you're just putting me down." And now we're at the furthest end of that spectrum where it can't be pushed any further, and he's only surrounded by yes men or people that fear to say no. So,
Yeah. Well, like, I
in delusions of grandeur, he's bipolar. I mean,
yeah,
he takes medication, but like he's been told taking that medication is I don't know. I'm glad the majority of people are to the point where we can move it towards a mental health conversation instead of a oh he's evil and anti-Semitic conversation because he is just mentally ill.
yeah,
I mean, I also think he's also anti-Semitic, but like he because he you can't not be and say what you said, but
yeah, you can't say that sort of horrible
no,
shit and not have a little bit of that somewhere in
no,
it's one of those things that I do think, like, I and we see this a lot. We see this with I mean, Joe Rogan is like a prime example of this,
yeah,
of you get to a point where you have either one of 2 things, like, either so much wealth or so much influence or both that you really do I think, develop, like, a complex.
oh
Not like a
yeah,
god complex, but just like
I
a
think it is.
and I know what I'm look how wealthy I am. Look how much people like,
Yeah,
we
it's like
we've
a
started to s
what did Hitler have? It was like a god complex type thing. It's like a saint complex where he survived like a grenade or something like that, or a grenade dropped next to him, but it was a dud. And all of a
yeah,
sudden, since that thing, he thought he was untouchable, or God was watching over him, or something like that. Delusions of grandeur.
yeah. It's it is crazy, like, we've seen that kind of, most recently with, like, the Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers in, like people are like, "He has lost his fucking mind." Um, because he started to do, like, ayahuasca in the off season and just has is really just gone off the deep end, like cut off like a lot of like friends and family from years past, and he's always kind of been like a little bit of a prickly personality anyway. He's kind of a dickhead. But now he's just like there was a huge controversy last season, or was it last season? Not the last season or the season before when the pandemic was kind of at its height. He was very cagey about his vaccination status because he'd be like, "Yeah, I've been immunized," and it turned out that like no, he wasn't. He just took like some essential oils and was like, "Here's a 3,000 page paper on why this
Hmm.
oil is better than your vaccine," and it was just like, um, yeah, God complex versus genius complex.
Interesting.
I don't feel like they're mutually exclusive. Like, um, I
I've
d-
never heard of Genius Complex. I've only ever heard of God Complex and a couple other complexes that don't come to mind, but Genius Complex sounds made up. Let me look.
sounds made up. No, I think it's one of those things of like people, sort of like. Did you watch Glass Onion?
Yes, I did.
I think that sort of would Edward Norton's character would sort of fall into the category of a genius complex where
Oh,
like
okay.
people have told him that he is objectively
So it's
he's
rooted more in
not.
narcissism
Yeah,
than the
it's just
grand scheme of things.
exactly. It's just deeply, deeply rooted in like narcissism and yeah,
So I
and
guess,
the
sorry, I didn't mean to keep interrupting you. It's like the
no,
fourth time I've
no,
interrupted you.
it's fine.
Um, so I guess a God complex would, I mean, just based on context clues, right? God complex is like a, almost like an I've been chosen, or I
Mm,
am this, I am the, I'm the, I'm a specimen of circumstance because of me and who I am.
yeah,
While genius complex is I am where I am because I'm just so goddamn brilliant.
yeah,
Because people keep telling me I am, so I must
yeah.
be.
That is a big thing with Kanye West. I mean, like for God's sakes, how many people have been saying like how brilliant he is and what a genius he is and this and that and the other for how long? You hear that over and over and over again. You believe it, and then you think like literally any thought or
Hmm.
thing that comes out of your mind. Well, I'm
Which
brilliant.
would you
They've
say
told me.
Kanye? Kanye's got kind of both, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, he's a fucking mess.
I mean, he's been told that he's been a genius for decades at this point, and honestly, no one's ever liked him for his philosophy. That's never
No,
what he's been known for. He was known for obviously some gold albums, clearly,
yeah,
and then he did like the religious album for a while, like a traveling type.
yeah.
Uh, I think it was I want to say it's Catholic or something. I didn't read too far into it because it's not my realm. But I know he's known for a lot of really interesting things. But I think
I've
through
always
that experience, he's got kind of a theology type God complex, definitely.
I always
Um,
thought it was interesting because like again, I don't know, maybe because I've just never thought he was that incredible because I look at like people like Prince who was
yeah.
insanely musically gifted, like could
Hmm.
play multiple instruments, very like could main, in on any instrument he chose, was a great singer, did craft entire albums around like a message, kind of thought outside the box musically and things like
Yeah.
that. And it's like, and he was a fucking weirdo too.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, we're two pasty white guys saying Kanye's a little overrated. Yeah.
fair.
Like I agree with you. I've never seen the hype myself,
So no, you
but
know what? Like, he's no Wu-Tang Clan, let me
he's
tell you. Right here, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
just I don't know.
I I dig his music. I really do. I feel for him. I honestly I feel for his family. I can't imagine like what that divorce was like, especially with
Not
how
good.
publicized it fucking was. But
That yeah, I don't know. It's
because she seems like a regular, not regular person, but
I
like
was about to say,
well, I mean, she's a mother though. Like she seems to be doing the heavy lifting in the family as far as like
yes.
publicity and like making sure Kanye's on his meds, that type of thing. So like she seems to be, I don't know. She seemed to be the heavyweight in that
I
relationship. Let's
could
put it
not
that
tell
way.
you anything that's I could because
I don't know enough to go on, but
I have such a low opinion of that whole family. Like it's
what about this? Speaking of families, what about? Did you watch the 60 Minutes interview with Anderson Cooper and Prince Henry?
No, no, I'm a little aware that there was that conversation and a lot of stuff was going on, but I didn't, um, yeah, I didn't watch it. What
I
did
think it's
I know that
interesting.
the royal family real fucking racist.
Oh yeah, they're at this point famously racist, which is great that they're famously so now because they did so much work with the horribly bigoted British press to basically put that under the rug. Because obviously there's plenty of diversity in Britain. Like there's, it's not just white folks up there, uh,
Crazy.
and power too. So anyway, but like it's I mean, the interview pretty much summed up everything that we've already known. I mean, if you ever watched the Prince Henry and his wife, and I forgot her name, forgive me, and
Uh,
Oprah, um, just
Meghan
going over their
Markle.
escape. What?
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle.
That's her
Um,
name.
but he seems to be a really well-rounded guy, like individual. Like I think it goes a lot to be born in such extraordinary circumstance and to
I
come out of
believe he
it.
did serve in Iraq.
Yeah, he
So,
did. He actually talked about it too. He said like one thing I thought was fascinating that I'd never heard him talk about with before is like back when Princess Diana was murdered and there was the whole or died in the car crash
yeah, because of
um,
paparazzi.
because of paparazzi and a conveniently drunk off the duty. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's a whole other
Mm,
thing. And
yeah.
but that's an important underlying piece though to his entire processing of it because he didn't fully grasp that she was gone for so long. She kind
Oh,
of said
yeah.
like I honestly kept expecting her to come back like any year. So like during the funeral, he was like, I was very confused as a young boy, like all these crying people that were more sad than I was. And then he said like one symbol that stuck with him was that people were giving him flowers to put on her memorial. He says, I felt like a conduit for their emotions.
Ooh,
So I was like,
that's
ooh,
rough.
that's rough. And him and his brother felt the same way. But uh, but they obviously split apart because he stuck with the family, and Henry was pretty much shown the light, so to speak. And he was even like, I may have been bigoted back then. And there's a point in time where Anderson Cooper asked him, "Do you think you were bigoted back then?" He's like, honestly, I don't know. Like, I all I can put it, and I've been thinking about it all day.
Yeah.
He was like, honestly, I just let me said, let me put it this way: what I see now, I didn't see back then.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a fair fucking answer. And I feel like a lot of people, adults, I would say especially, boomers especially, because
Mhm.
he's only like 38. He's not old.
Yeah.
Um, eh, that's a difficult thing to do. Um,
It is.
and I think that's so commendable. And I think that's so crazy. What makes this story so crazy? Um, anyway,
No, no, no. It's one of those weird things where and you look at it as well, like we've seen this in the Westboro Baptist Church where people have left and
yeah.
in particular like very prominent like public members.
Mhm.
For example, like Kevin Smith was a target of theirs for a while, but it didn't really actually
Kevin
have anything.
Smith, the actor,
The yeah, the writer director
who's
actor.
a target.
Because of
Tar-
Dogma.
Ah.
It actually didn't
No
have anything to do with
fucking
him, though.
way.
It didn't
How
have anything to do with him.
so what do you mean target? Like target to murder or target to, like, defame?
So they would go
Wow,
and
that's
protest
funny.
his movie.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they would protest the
Oh,
movie.
okay.
But he realized or learned that it didn't actually have anything to do with him. They were just using him to go after Disney. Because like, when you, like, trace back, like, who actually distributed the movie, it was Disney. Um
Really?
So, yeah, so he was like, "I don't think it was necessarily because of me. I think it was more because they wanted to use me to go after the bigger fish, and I was the step that you could take
But the
to go
Westboro
after."
Baptist Church can't even eat small fish. I don't think they're
It's
smart
true.
enough to even think that far down the line, to be honest with you. I think that's way too comprehensive of a thought to give him that credit. But I think Kevin Smith also doesn't deserve to be the target, so I'm glad he's kind of
Yeah.
putting it on the bigger one. So
But
that's my
one
2
of the
cents though.
main one of the main people, she was one of the younger one, like, one of the children, she
Yeah.
would be like, "Hell is real, Kevin," like, with signs and, like, talking shit, and she left, and, like, then later was on his podcast and, like, explained sort of the process. I mean, they're
I wanna watch
absolutely
that.
yeah, it was crazy, like, they're absolutely indoctrinated, and,
Oh,
like, now
yeah.
they go around and they're, like, public speakers, and, this is gonna really shock you, I don't think they believe in God anymore, but it's wild,
What?
yeah. Megan Roper Phelps, I believe her name is,
Interesting. Hmm.
or Phelps Roper. Yeah, Megan
Westboro,
Phelps
but
Roper.
it's a cult.
Mhm.
That's what it is.
Oh, it's 100% a cult. I
Uh,
mean,
d-
we talked about it with May.
Cults are fast. Oh yeah, cults are fascinating, man. Like what draws the line between a church and a cult? Intent or the derogatory nature of your description?
Mm,
Because like if a church is doing good stuff, are you gonna call them a cult even though they fit the description? I don't know. Probably not.
it's yeah,
I mean, I would because I'm an ass, but like but otherwise, you know, it's perspective. Because
there are
cultists aren't generally self-identifying as a cult.
so my grandmother was actually in the Mormon church. They kicked her out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Mormon is gonna be the same way. I remember I opened up a restaurant, which will remain nameless, in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I had no idea that there was. I did not realize until then that it was the Mormon capital. It was a long time ago.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, and I had never felt so uncomfortable in my life to the point where like I would not have gone if I knew that.
Wow.
Because it was so egregious. Like I don't mean like how do I put this in like the nicest way possible?
What if you didn't?
They're all in
What if
competition to be the nicer than you and
Oh.
more like Satan-like than you, and
Mm,
it's all fueled by a passive aggression that I don't think they're even aware of.
yeah.
Um, even though the intent at its surface, not its core, is good and wholesome.
Hmm.
So that's my takeaway from it. But it was very uncomfortable, especially with how many people were trying to do. So that's a weird fucking trip too. Side fucking note that has nothing to do with
Yeah.
Mormonism at
What
all.
what was the
Um,
trip?
what was the trip?
Mm.
It was for a week to open a restaurant. I was a trainer, and we were just yeah.
Okay, I remember where you work now. Okay, sorry.
No,
I
yeah.
yeah,
It's a pizza place. So we were. I was a
that wasn't
trainer.
where you. I thought. Oh, never mind. They are like the same place. I think. Right.
I don't know. I don't.
Say the name. Where? What?
It was Pi
You?
Five. I don't give a shit anymore. It's
I
Pi
don't know
Five. You
what Pi
wore me
Phi. Yeah,
down.
I thought
Uh,
it was Taco Bell, so that threw me off.
no. I worked at a lot of food joints, but no, Pi Five. It's like Subway, but for pizza.
I've
Uh,
never heard it. We don't have those.
there are multiple other chains that do it way fucking better, so don't even worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
They're run
Oh,
by
is this like the take and
baboons.
bake pizzas? Is it like that?
It's like you go down the line, like, yeah, I want this, I want that, and then they throw it in the oven for five
Oh, so
minutes,
it's
Pi
not.
Five, and then they sell it to you for $12. It's ridiculous.
Have you
Mod
seen
Pizza's way
the
better.
have
What?
you seen the take and bake pizzas?
No, I've seen them. I haven't had them before though.
I haven't either, but I know that you can go like Papa Murphy's is the one that's like near our in our area, and you go and you get your pizza that's
Yeah,
cold,
yeah, and you
that's
put it in
not
the oven.
cooked, and you take it home and warm it up. And
Yeah,
apparently people get like real mad when they show up and they're like, "Why the fuck is my pizza cold?" And it's
yeah.
like, "Oh,
No,
because
you pay.
we don't
You
cook it."
do that. Why? I
Yeah.
could have just got the ingredients. Why did
Yeah,
I?
no, that's always been and I'm like, "How did you not know that this was like" I don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
it is a little
yep,
yeah, it's
yep.
I've never done
I
it because
don't.
again, I'm just like, if I'm gonna I mean, I'm like
The
2 steps from just making my own, like
like I like pizza, but why would you do? I want to do the two worst the two worst parts of pizza: going
yeah.
to get it and making it.
What's your favorite pizza joint? Do you have a favorite pizza
I
joint?
constantly have Pizza Hut, and honestly, I'm fucking over it. I think Pizza Hut's very, very mid.
It is.
Um, I used to love Papa John's, which is also extremely mid. Uh,
Papa John's, I think, is like in a tier list, I think Papa John's is like right above Little Caesars.
I used to get very high and eat a lot of Papa John's, so I have a lot of positive memories associated with that
There's a
shitty
lot of
pizza.
positive things associated with
I
pizza that
don't.
tastes like cardboard.
It is, and I can eat an entire pizza, and it's great. Um, my favorite pizza place. I mean, my favorite pizza places are always like
I love
those,
Domino's. I
like
think Domino's
small.
kills it.
All of my favorite pizza has always been from like these local places that I don't remember the names of. It's always
Yeah.
been like these artisan pizza joints. Uh,
Local pizza spots are way better, but I meant more of like of the chain. For me, the chain Domino's is the go-to. I
I
think
they're all
Domino's
they're
they're
all.
all like not
I don't.
amazing, but in
I'm going to
the
be generally upset no matter what. This. I'm sorry. I pass. I don't. They're all. Eh. I think it's a weird hill that a lot of people die on when they're like,
Oh,
"No,
I'm not.
Domino's is the best." I'm like, I've had Domino's that tastes like nothing. So like
Yeah,
last time I had Domino's, it tasted like nothing. I was amazed. I'm like,
gruel.
I I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, this is best. Like, no, you have to put hot sauce on it. I'm like, well, yeah,
Well,
if you want,
no.
then it's just hot
If I
sauce
want it
on
to
top
taste
of
like hot sauce,
nothing.
then yeah. So speaking of like weird stuff,
Marco's is insanely good. I like Marco's a lot.
Marcos.
Marco's is
We do have a
solid.
Marcos.
Yeah,
I
Marco's is a
think
big chain.
maybe
Yeah,
never
Marco's is
really.
very good. Yeah, their
I
flat
did
crust is
have
very
a
good.
I did have a really weird thing happen recently regarding food, and that is like which is funny too because I don't really drink a lot of soda. But growing up, my family drank Pepsi,
Mm.
and now as an adult, I'm like, Pepsi sucks. Coke is way better. Like Pepsi tastes like it's flat, and Coke is very crisp and delicious.
Man, I haven't had a dark soda like that in years. And I remember
I
last time
usually
I
don't.
did. No, I know a lot of people are just dropping soda altogether. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Um, and Monkey Man, did I taste nothing? Did I blow my nose? Yeah, my nose was clear. I know if you can't smell, you can't taste. And I trust me, I was baffled. I was like tasting other things. I'm like, is my tongue broken? Do I have COVID? No, it was
It was
Domino's.
just
But anyway,
shouldn't I get like upset and be like, "What the hell?"
yeah, you should. You're like, that's my place.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, dark. I mean, I remember last time I had because I used to enjoy Coke. I used to like
Mm,
Coca Cola. I just thought went well with a lot of things. I
yeah.
stopped drinking it for years, and I went back to it. Tastes like shit. Like
Hmm.
I remember hearing that if you stop drinking soda and then you try it, it tastes different, and it fucking does.
I have noticed that. I hadn't
Really,
there was like at least like a good 10-12 year period of time where I didn't drink soda at all.
really, and you
Mhm.
like it? Okay.
It's fine. It's not like I don't want it all the time. It's
Yeah.
one of those things that when like it was what I drank. I would have I had like Coke on vacation like that because I don't drink. So that was like my
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm partying it up. I'm having a Coca-Cola made by a robot. That was cool. Yeah, I went
Yeah.
to like this one place where a robot made it. It was like not great because most of it spilled out onto the goddamn thing. And I was like,
That's
ah, cool.
sick.
I paid $12 for a fucking Coke.
Did you tip the robot? Tip it over?
I did not. I was just like, I did when I went up to take my drink from it. I said, "Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto."
I'm sure
Yeah,
every tourist has that.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they have
Domo
to. It was just an
origato.
arm. It was like an arm. It would come down. It was a fucking novelty.
Doesn't that
Um,
Styx lyric not even make sense? The domo origato. Doesn't domo ori? That's not what that means, right?
means thank you very much.
Is it
Domo arigato.
domo
Yeah,
origato means?
yeah. Arigato gozaimasu. Like,
Wonder why
yeah.
they draw the line at Mister Roboto. Like that's not.
Mr. Roboto,
What if they
Domo,
like
Domo.
domo origato roboto-san? Like
Yeah, Roboto-san, Roboto-sama.
roboto-sama sensei roboto sensei. Depends on your relationship
Yeah.
with this robot.
So I will say the reason why I've enjoyed Coke as of late is because it's really great when I get a tattoo and my blood sugar is like, oh no, you've been getting stabbed with a small needle for hours. Like it really helps to make you feel like a normal human
Yeah,
again.
because it's an ass
Because
ton of sugar.
yeah, it helps. So like that's why. So it's
Mm.
associated with that. It's like, ah, nice. And it's just it's cold and it's
Hmm.
good sharp taste. Like
Yeah,
I like a good carbonation,
I
you
think the
know.
only soda. I 'cause I used to just like it, dude. And you know another thing is, I I don't know why we're going so much on this, but so the sodas on fountain drink machines, they come from those big
Yeah.
syrup bags in the back. If anyone's ever worked fast food retail, I'm triggering a memory right now. Those big cardboard boxes you break your wrist trying to open. Um, those are okay, right? Those things, and obviously canned soda is really good and bottled soda is fine.
Yeah.
The 2 liters are but what we see a lot of these nowadays is these what they're called freestyles machines, and I'm sure you've seen them. They're those big fancy things that everyone initially gets very excited about, like what I can customize my drink, I can put lime and Coke, and I can do this and that, I can get
Yeah.
carbonated water. But there are these little tiny cartridges. We used to change them out all the time at Pi 5 because the new location we opened had one, and I was
Yeah.
excited initially.
'Cause you're like, I'm gonna put lime in my soda, and
Honestly,
fucking
well, when you're working, you don't want to drink just soda. That's
just
what.
occurred to me that your headphones were underneath your hood that you
Yeah,
had.
my
Yeah,
head isn't this shaped.
I continue your story.
What do you? What do I just
I
look like a penis
just
normally?
I didn't think about it. I
I
was
look like a
just like,
circumcised dick. Anyway,
you
so
do. You're peeking out of the hood,
I'm
like
peeking out
you're
of the hood. I'm
crowning, like
breaking
you're
out.
ready.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right fucking there and go
Okay.
right back to freestyling soda. Um,
Yep.
so the little cartridges, right? And they
Yeah.
last suspiciously longer. These things, they're little plastic cartridges. They're like little magazines to a gun.
Yeah.
And as opposed to these big syrup bags, they last like twice as long. It's insane, right?
Mm.
Suspiciously long. But I don't know if you've ever had a freestyle machine or from the sodas, but they leave a horrid aftertaste. It's like cardboard.
Ugh.
Like it's like a bitterness. It's really, really bad. So like now I remember when I was weaning off a soda, I was like, oh, okay, I'll try a Dr. Pepper with it. I'm like, nope,
Yeah.
tastes like asshole. Anyway, that's my whole spiel. I hate freestyles machines. I don't like soda anymore. The only soda I'll consider these days is Baja Blast.
Nice.
That's it.
Yeah, I just have like a Coke now and again. That's I still mainly drink water, tea, but if I want something, or maybe maybe a nice sweet tea now and again. If I'm like, I need to wake up, like yeah, like we don't keep it in the house or anything like that, and I just periodically will have it. I had some in Vegas, which was cool, but other than that, yeah, I'm not much of a not a soda boy, you know. I stick to my water. Water, it's good.
You're a water boy, huh?
I am, you know. My mama said, Jesus.
If you were the ruler of the world, what would be your first thing that you change?
Oh,
Like
no
whether
one.
it's fucking possible or anything. Of the world, mind you, the
The
planet.
world?
Yeah.
Like, what sort of godlike powers do I have? Can I eliminate like world hunger and homelessness?
You
Because
have
obviously,
you
like
have
that's
money allocation powers, absolutely.
yeah, we got to fix
And the world
infrastructure. That's the
absolutely
key.
has the resources to end world hunger, so that's an easy thing.
Yeah, ending world
But
hunger.
come on, what's it called, Miss America? What do you change?
Kill all the pedophiles.
Kill all the so do you identify them first, or do you just hope they're pedophiles?
No, I mean
Do
obviously
they
you
have to be
identify
convicted?
them.
Do they have to be in mid-act? What are they doing?
I don't know. I
And how do you kill
panicked.
them? Lethal injection or like public beating? I don't know what.
Dealer's choice. Let the
Dealer's
victims
choice?
decide.
Oh, victims decide? That's not very.
Yeah, how do
I
you
don't
want
know.
this to happen?
You have to give them multiple
I don't-
choice.
Okay, fuck, man.
It
I
can be
don't
like
know.
A,
I
B, C,
panicked.
D, all of the above.
I grabbed some low hanging fruit there.
Grab some,
Uh,
dude. That's not. You can't follow pedophilia that way. Can you please give me?
I panicked. I didn't know what else to say. You put me on the spot. What would you do?
I would do whatever you do. No, I would. I would. I probably should have asked a question that I was prepared to also answer.
There it is.
I would do something about the billionaires. I think I would just like do a whole reallocation. Like you can't, like when you have a certain number of money, you win. You're done. Like you're done. Like you don't get more money. Like, and I think this whole like oh, I like getting tax shelters and like putting your money through Ireland and shit to get away from like country taxes as the
Ireland.
world leader. Oh yeah, it's a big thing. A lot of businesses will go. That's why a lot of businesses have satellite offices in Ireland, because they can funnel all of their profit through
I did
Ireland
not
and
know
benefit
that.
from international tax laws. Yes.
Yeah.
It's very, very popular. That's why a lot of companies have Irish offices. For weird, like, why do we have an office there? That's why. So that's why a lot of big companies and billionaires don't pay taxes in the country, and why all of the burdens are put on the poor people, and then we're also blamed. So, but yeah. So if we had a world type situation, I think
Yeah.
they couldn't get around that. Like if you have assets exceeding $50 billion, you're done. Every cent you make over that, you're good. There's no way you could spend all of that for you, so we're just gonna. But it's also such an obscene amount of money that it's not
Yeah.
like You're allowed to be rich. You're allowed to be grossly rich, but you can't be like pushing trillion. You can't do that.
Is anybody actually pushing to that limit?
I don't. I don't. I think when it gets that high, it gets complicated with like how much your company is worth and how much like.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I
But
guess it's that question of like, what do you actually have in terms of
yeah, like
in
Elon
terms
Musk is
of net
apparently worth
worth
about
and
200
value?
billion.
Who is?
Elon Musk.
How much? He's number one, right? Or is it
He-
Bezos is number
It's
one?
Bezos dropped in the past like decade for some reason, and I don't think it's because he's gotten poorer. Weirdly enough, he's number 4 now. He's
Hmm.
worth 110
Who's number
billion
one?
dollars. Number one right now, according to this site, which I have no idea, is Bernard Arnault and his family.
I don't know who that
He's the
is.
CEO and chair of Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton. His net worth is just over Elon Musk, so he's about 200 billion also.
Interesting.
Like,
Interesting.
you just not. What are you doing? You don't. And again, I know it's not it's company worth. That's like all your liquid assets and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
that's still 1 billion is an obscene amount of money. uh, 1 billion, like that's 100 million. No, it's 999 million. That's one of them. And then these guys have
lot.
hundreds of them. That is not okay. That is that would be what I would do.
You know what it's the equivalent of? I
Ah,
think. You know
what's
how
that?
at least this is like what I tell myself to make, to feel better about it. They're just playing an RPG and they're just saving all these resources for the final boss. So
And
they're going to go to the final boss
yep,
with 99 elixirs. They're going to beat the boss and then the game's over.
yeah,
Oops.
yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of what it's like.
yeah. And there just has to be some kind of line drawn. Like I like because being rich is fine. Being super rich is fine. Being super
Yeah.
rich is fine. Being confusingly rich is well, what's happening? What are you doing? What's your goal at this point? What do you have a
Yeah.
goal?
I
Or
don't
do you
think so.
have the goals? Is your goal to ruin everyone else's goal?
I do think that that's where you get to the point where it's like at some point you
There has to be a point, right?
I do think part of it is just like depending on who it is cuz obviously like you can't, just wave a wand and
No.
um
Mm-mm.
some of it is just like general human drive of like I need to do better, I need to earn more. Like cuz some of
Mhm.
these people didn't grow up like extremely wealthy or whatever, so it's like just that constant like well, I have to do better, I have to do more because you
Mhm.
can't really have I don't think some of these people really have a concept of how wealthy they are. I mean some of these fuckers have been to the moon but or like gone to space on a whim, but
Yeah.
it's still just like I don't know, am I really that rich? And it's like the answer is yes, you are. um so I think that's part of it. It's just that sort of like yep, I just gotta keep hitting that next tier with no idea of what you're gonna do with it.
That's what I have to remind myself is that these people, for them to continue doing what they're doing, they have to have no idea like the actual ramifications. They have
Mm,
to. I have to think that. Um and if they don't care, that's another thing. But like
yeah.
I think honestly they're so obscenely rich. I don't think they can. Like I don't think they. I mean, how does anyone imagine that much money? How does anyone?
Well,
They're
and I
like, how
know,
much is
like,
bananas? $50? Like they have no idea.
how much
Like
could it be? $10.
$20?
Uh,
Yeah.
I, I do think like some of it is they just don't know what else to do. I think Elon Musk, fucking moron. What a prime example. Like he spends all that money on Twitter to have people like fucking shit on him and hate him even more. And it's like people are like he wasted how many billions of dollars? And it's like he's fine. He'll be fine. Because it's literally like what else am I gonna do? We're talking about a guy who doesn't have to do anything ever again. So this is like him playing a video game. I guess I'll just buy this company and fucking run it into the ground because I got nothing else to do.
God, you reminded me so much of this. I think with Elon Musk, did you ever watch the documentary about James McAfee?
Mm-mm.
So James McAfee is the McAfee antivirus thing. He was a whole
Yeah, is he kind
prodigy
of a
thing in the
kooky person? Is he kind of a nut
Cookie
job?
is. We'll get to that. So
Okay.
the Kooky is a great word to pick. So if you have not watched the McAfee documentary, you now have to, because he's crazy. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
skip to the part I want to talk about, which
Okay.
is he did a thing where he had a hammock, which I'm gonna call a poop hammock.
Oh,
So this hammock had
Jesus, he's
had
like
a
Howard Hughes.
had a hole in it where he
Uh,
would pay poor women to be beneath, no, not he would be beneath it, and they would poop through said hammock onto him, and then that
this
was
is
part
taken
of his thing.
3 turns that I did not expect. At
Yeah,
first, I thought he was like pooping in the hammock, and now okay.
he was kooky. I don't know if he's still alive. I think he's in jail. But he is kooky. So I just that I felt like that was a fitting metaphor for what Elon Musk did with Twitter, where he bought an expensive thing to be shat on by his own volition. And I thought that was
Wow.
like, what did you expect? Like,
Yeah, that's
right? Pretty good,
ooh.
right?
I mean, I
Twitter's a
do
poop
have
hammock. You heard it here
really
first.
is. I mean, you could, there is sort of a dark theory that I have of why he bought Twitter and why he did what he did and all that
You have
kind
a
of
dark
stuff.
theory about why Elon Musk? What, dude? If only we had a platform. Continue.
Anyway, so when you look at like a lot of the things leading up to his purchase and a lot of things that he would say and a lot of things that he would do, I straight up think he bought it to try and promote, drive, and use Twitter as propaganda to influence the election. Literally think that's why he did it. He's been very, very outspoken of like vote Republican. Ah, ah, ah. Like
He seems to have like a very half-built, half-baked idea about that. I can see him having that drive for sure.
yeah.
Because
Like that was the goal, but
yeah,
his
because
like
Facebook did
his
similar stuff.
execution was just
Yeah,
not good.
because Facebook is known for doing very, very or Meta is famous for doing stuff like that also,
Yeah.
which has been basically proven. But they can't be held accountable because they're the only
Yeah.
kind of their kind.
Yeah,
And
it's like, well, what
so
other Facebook are you going to use to determine
yeah,
like
and
yeah.
it is such obscene amount of data. All
Yeah.
we can rely on are whistleblowers that pretty much come out of the company saying this is absolutely fucking happening.
Yeah.
And then that's as far as it goes. That's where it stops. So yeah, that has to be. That has to be.
It just made the most sense because it's like when you see how he ran it, you see how he did and then like if you use Twitter and like look and see how things were leading up to the election and then after the election, it was like, oh, that's exactly what he
Yeah.
was tried to it didn't work, obviously.
Mm.
Just because I think people are not that dumb, like, or he just
Yeah.
is that dumb that he's like, I'm slick, ha ha ha. Like,
Yeah. It seems like an Elon
plus
Musk
he's
level of brilliance where he just
well, yeah, and
feigns it.
that's kind of what I was gonna get at
Yeah.
as well. Is you look at like Glass Onion, and
Such a funny version of him.
he's started to become kind of very problematic, and I think he's starting to get himself in trouble. I mean, you go back and look when he was on like the Joe Rogan Experience, and he's like smoking the joint and like
Back when
things
everyone
like
thought he was
that.
Tony Stark. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's where he's at, where he's just
Oh
like,
my
oh,
God.
look,
Yeah.
everyone loves me. I named my kid like symbols, like
Yeah, and he's like he listed the price of one of his Teslas for 69 420
yeah.
Dogecoin, and then there's the flamethrower
He,
shit. He's just
he was absolutely trying to fucking. It was Dogecoin was a Ponzi scheme. Why do you think he was talking about it? Yeah, you guys should all buy this. This is so great. Oh, look at
it's
all my wealth.
I cringe a little bit when people call crypto Ponzi scheme, but I see where they're coming from because
You're a crypto guy, I know,
yeah,
but
no,
I get
Ponzi
it.
scheme would suggest that it's not profitable. And
Well, it is for
it's
somebody. Pyramid
extraordinary.
scheme
No,
would
it's
probably
for a
be.
lot of people though.
Yeah.
I mean, I've made quite a bit of money on it. So like I'm just saying like but it's also based on nothing. So like it's
Yeah.
also like I get it. Like I get what you're saying, but it's not, but it is,
No,
but it isn't.
I know. I'm being cheeky.
And no, I know you are, but I think it's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
So
I am not a
because I don't
crypto
refute it at the
guy.
same time.
Yeah, I'm not a crypto guy because I think it falls under the same category of like NFTs for me. It's
Yeah.
like just yeah, it's
I didn't get into NFTs. I
no.
tried for a little bit. I invested in a couple failed projects, and then uh, it's like those are Ponzi schemes. Those are actual Ponzi schemes.
Yeah, yeah, NFTs
Um,
absolutely
I
are.
think the technology behind NFTs has utility that has been completely squandered, and it's a massive waste of energy.
Mhm.
So it's like the cons greatly outweigh the pros
I think
at
I
this
think when it
point in
comes
time.
yeah, I think when it comes to investments, you still just keep it simple. You know,
Yeah.
you focus on the same stuff that, real estate, you
Hmm.
know, investing in things that
Yeah.
help improve things like
Yeah.
that to me is the real key because yeah, I get it. Like I don't fault anybody for doing it. I'm not gonna do it. It's like gambling to me, you know?
It is
Like
gambling. It is.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
So
100% gambling. It's I mean it's just like this. It's honestly it's a lot more related to the stock market. It's
yeah,
extremely similar to the stock market, and stock market's gambling.
yeah,
Because all these cryptos are essentially companies that have a particular function. Because these coins aren't just coins; they have utility.
yeah.
Um, they all do different things. Like not every coin goes up in value. For instance, some coins are their intention is to stay as close to the USD as possible.
Yeah.
To serve as like a middleman type situation. All of them have different functions. So if their company is doing well, the value of that coin goes well. So, like for
Sure.
example, a blockchain called Solana was a small project, wasn't worth much, but then NFTs began minting on Solana exclusively for a short period of time. So Solana's value skyrocketed because
Mhm.
NFTs were everywhere. So
Yep.
Solana, its utility was used, therefore the value. So and there's that is a bastardization of that industry, but that is generally how it works. But 99.9% of the people who can talk about that can't go much further because it is extremely convoluted. And that
It
doesn't
is.
and knowing that doesn't make you money.
I
So,
mean, there's one NFT that I am heavily invested in, and that's Final Fantasy 14.
oh, that's right. They
Um,
have their own. That's right. Right. So does
no,
Razer.
I'm not actually. No, I just play the game. That's
Oh, but
that
they
was
do
me.
though. It's like
They
Final.
do. That's right.
Yeah.
They do. Square Enix is like, no,
Mm-hmm.
we're doubling down on this, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay,
There's this
cool.
one crypto that I'm actually the most optimistic about, or one of the most optimistic about, but it's also a much smaller scale. It's called BAT, Basic Attention Token. It's using a different browser that uses the Chrome engine called Brave.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
probably already heard of it, but just using it, it automatically has like a built-in ad block. So the concept behind it is that the more websites you visit and the more ads you see, you get awarded BAT tokens.
Ooh,
But just by using my browser for about a month, I can pay for Taco Bell like every month or something like that. Like
nice.
I save it all, but like because it was like 10 cents when I got in, and now it's like last time I looked, it was 25 cents. I'm sure it's back down, but it goes up. Like if it goes from 11 cents to 25 cents, that's if you have hundreds of dollars in it, thousands, like it goes up a lot.
Makes
Anyway,
a
sorry.
difference.
I think crypto's interesting. I don't
No,
I
I
don't
know.
recommend anyone get into it, but I think it's very interesting.
Yeah, you're always looking for that great money making. What are we gonna do to make some money?
I want new floors. I'm not like a I want to be rich. I want to do this. I just want new floors. I would just want like I want to decorate my house. I want a retaining wall out front. Like I just want shit, and my salary is just I can't save up fast enough. So that's what it is. And
That's
yeah,
fair.
yeah, Brave does constantly advertise it to you, and a lot of websites don't even work properly, so you have to still have Chrome like installed. But Brave is, I mean, it's got built-in security stuff. It's got like a built-in VPN and stuff.
Yeah,
Brave is by itself a great product.
not an ad, but could be an ad.
It could be an ad if Brave would respond to my emails.
If they would respond to my strongly worded
We
emails.
have dozens of viewers that would love
Does
to know. Some of them already use your product, so you got so much to gain here.
there it is.
Um, so-
So much.
how was your
No.
weekend?
It was okay. Kind of that sort of coming down from vacation
Yeah,
weekend where you're still like, I wish I was still on vacation, but I'm happy I'm home.
yeah.
Like played a lot of Final Fantasy, so that was cool. Um I really like it. I've been sick for like 3 weeks. It's been like gradually making its way down my system. It started like in my sinuses, then went to my throat. Now it's in my chest. So I'm
Nice.
really tired of that. I'm ready for it to be over. Like I don't have COVID. Like there's nothing wrong with me, and
Mm.
I don't feel sick. I just have like congestion and stuff. So it's more annoying than anything, but it's impacting some of the things I want to do, which is like I want to work on voice acting stuff, and I can't do that with my voice isn't 100%, which is a
Oh yeah.
bummer.
Oh, I'm writing a new voice acting reel, character reel. I don't know if
Nice.
I
I
have the intent to voice act, but I think it's fun.
yeah.
So, trying to think of a scenario. Though. I have a couple written out. One is like a couple of old friends meeting up in a tavern. I like the
Yeah.
RPG setting. I think it makes for an interesting dynamic. Um,
Yeah.
and then one is like an investigation type situation, someone being interrogated. So I'm trying to flesh those out a bit.
And returns from vacation with
Yeah,
fresh renewed hatred for job. No,
that's
I do like my job.
a classic
It
meme.
it's good.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time staying interested in my job. I think I
I
talked
thought you
about
were
this last
right.
time.
I thought you were up for promotion or trying to apply for one or
I'm coming up on my year, so I. It's like I took this downgrade job so I could build back up, basically, and I'm at the end of the line, and I'm like, I see the finish line, and I'm like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of explaining this shit to people. Like I worked hard to not do this,
yeah.
but it's it is the thing I told myself I would do. I'm just bitching about it until it's done.
No, that makes
So
sense. What would you do if you could have any choice to do whatever you wanted?
I love that question. I think about it all the time.
Mm,
Honestly, I would love to be like a big time. I know this is like not unique, but
yeah.
I would love to be like a personality. I would love to be like a big like social media guy. And I think I don't hate social media as much as everyone else seems to like. I could get in the habit of it. I just the work gets in the way. Like I love posting and stuff. I like interacting with comments and stuff like that. I like making content. I like talking like with people like you and stuff. I like
Yeah.
that would be my dream job. Um, especially if I had like that turned into other things like voice acting and gaming and stuff like that. I'd love that.
Yeah.
And I think I'm thinking about that more and more. When this cabinet is done, I think I'm going to pick up Tummy Numner again. And just even if I don't become anything, I think it's still very fun. Um,
I mean, it's the only
other
reason to do it.
as far as like a big boy, slightly more realistic, I think I'd be in tech, somewhere like cybersecurity type thing. I
Yeah.
think I would have a lot of fun with that.
You and literally every fucking dude I know. That's like the go-to. Everybody. I think I'd like to do
Really?
cybersecurity. It's unbelievable the
Maybe it's
amount
because
of
I'm looking at the
yeah.
listings and I see that fucking salary.
Yeah, that's
That
part
might
of
be
it.
why.
Yeah. No, it's just it's not a bad thing. It's just like that's like almost the thing that like all dudes in tech say they want to do at some point. I'd like to be in security. Like I don't know. It's just I think everybody I don't know. It's like
It
the
starts at six figures, so I'm like, that's okay.
no,
I can do
that's
that.
fair. As someone in tech, I do not make six figures, so I cannot identify.
Yeah, I am getting. I don't know about you, but I'm getting hot in this thing.
Well,
In my little dick costume, can't do it.
yeah, there it is. I thought you were gonna like not have hair. That was gonna be the big reveal. Is like you pull it off and you've
I'm
shaved your
bald.
head.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
That
or
would be
your
really
hair's like
funny.
bright pink or yellow or something. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, that was uh,
that would be great. I'll keep that in mind.
that would be funny. I would appreciate that. But no, like I think you would be really good as a personality. You're very good at it. You have a good personality and things like that.
Well,
I
thank you.
often wonder. I was thinking about this earlier. I was watching somebody's video, and they're a YouTuber, which is like what an interesting concept is a career to a point where I question: is it a career? Is being a YouTuber actually a career? Like it certainly
Yes.
is right now.
Yeah.
Yes, like right now it
What
is.
defines career to you?
So career, is it something that you could slash will be able to do to retirement age? Traditional retirement age. When I say I mean like
I
65.
mean, that's
Like not
unprecedented, right? So,
yeah, so that's
but
where
there
I
are
think we're
65-year-olds who YouTube successfully. So
yeah, yeah, no, I know that. I'm not dismissing or
you're
diminishing what they're
dismissing
doing.
it.
No, I'm not.
I
Not at
know. I
all.
know.
I'm simply just saying, like, we don't have,
No,
because YouTube
yeah,
came out in 2005, 2006. So, and the ability of people to make a living off it, I think it's awesome that people can do that.
yeah,
In fact, like, it's so funny when we were on vacation, uh, we didn't have a smart TV. Most of the televisions or most of the hotels we stay at will have a smart TV, so we'll just log into YouTube or
yeah.
whatever. So we had to watch like actual TV, and actual TV sucks ultimately. Like, with the exception of like you're wanting to watch a specific program, it's like
It is so
television.
many fucking ads.
Yeah. It's like there are
Like
so many commercials.
it makes YouTube ads seem a lot more bearable.
Yeah. There's so many
Yeah,
commercials. And then it's just also like there's I know what I want to watch. Like, I want to
yeah,
watch this, or I want to,
yeah,
like, and TV just sucks. So like I look at it and I question, I'm like, man, we're at a point where like a lot of these YouTubers have been doing it for X many years, and they're kind of like, I didn't know that it would go this far. It's sort
right.
of like being a Twitch streamer for a career. It's like, what's the end game? And I don't mean the people that make like millions, like your
Yeah,
Mr. Beast or Hassan Piker or
I know what
whatever
you mean.
like that. Like, it's kind of like the people that make like a good, comfortable living and can pay their bills. And I mean, I saw a thing of this other guy. I never really watched his content, but like Boogie2988.
Boogie, he's old timey. Yeah,
Yeah, but
he's been on YouTube for a long time.
apparently he's lost like almost all of his money, and it's
Something
gotten.
happened to him recently. I want to say that he was accused of something, or he got, I want to say canceled for a lack of a better term. Let me see
Yeah,
before I
so
spread
I'm just
any.
kind of like, it's one of those things that I think about that I'm curious to say, like, "Well, what, man, like, what does this look like? What does the future look like? Where are we going to be in 10 years' time when it comes to like YouTube or, whatever the case may be?"
Yeah,
I think
Boogie.
it's awesome.
Let's see. Controversies. Teaming up with upcoming project. No other details. We tweeted to try to house himself. Think they were rapists and not these other general. Oh, he's just said some questionable stuff. It's your basic social media
Oh,
stuff
there
and
was a
like
Game Grumps where Aaron was like, "I guess we're dying on this couch." I mean, they've diversified themselves at least a little bit because they've made games and done voice acting. And I remember when like YouTube Red was a thing for like 2 minutes, and they both
it's
had a show.
isn't it still a thing?
Which YouTube Red? I think it is, but not like it
Oh, it's just called
was.
YouTube Premium.
Yeah,
That's
like
all it is.
where I think it's just like
It's
no
not their
ads,
own
but
TV stuff though.
yeah, they were doing like their own TV stuff until they realized like,
Everyone
oh,
hates this.
yeah, people don't like
And it was
this at
dog
all.
shit content. It'd be different if it was good. Like I
Yeah,
remember
it
like
wasn't
seeing
good.
clips and stuff, and I'm like, this is the cringiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like when you get YouTube Red, you get stuff like the YouTube rewinds of the past years.
Yeah.
Like there's just the worst stuff, like written by a boomer, pulled off by someone who tried.
They
Like
like the kids like this, don't they?
yeah,
It's sort of the
exactly.
Sony re-releasing Morbius in the theaters again because of memes,
Yes,
which is
exactly.
like,
Same hat, same hat.
it's like, no, we got to capitalize on this. And it's like, no, you don't. You're not going to make any money.
You don't
And
gotta.
they
That's the
didn't.
thing. You don't
Speaking of
gotta.
that, I did one of the funniest thing. I guess this will help us close out. So you're familiar with Gina Carano, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So she, went nuts on the internet and got essentially fired from Mandalorian and all that, and went
yeah.
and made a movie.
She's the big MMA MMA. Is she MMA?
She
Martial
was, yeah,
artist.
yeah. She was
Yeah,
an
yeah.
MMA fighter.
She
Yeah.
was a big old trumper from what my vague memory.
Her big movie, her like the role that she did post getting fired for Mandalorian,
Yeah.
and
Wasn't it about like
made eight
trans something like that? Let me
made
see.
eight. Yeah, she was very anti-trans. She that movie made $800 in the box office.
What? Hold on. 800 million?
No, eight
800,000?
no, just $800.
That's
Like
not
probably
that's
what you have in your bank account right now. $800.
800.
$800 at the box office.
It went to
$800.
theaters and it made $800.
It made $800. I
But it
think
broke
somebody did the
even.
math. Huh?
It broke even though.
I don't think. No, it's a movie. Like it had a. Yeah.
Well,
Hold on.
800 profit? Like they
No,
they
just
cost $1
dollars.
million to make. They made $1 million and $800.
No,
I want to find out. What is it called, do you know?
I'm looking. I'm
I'm
looking
trying to
right
find the
now.
tweet that she did.
It was Terror on the
Oh, yeah, I
Prairie.
can't even read that. That's horrid. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, she related some stuff that was not meant to be related. Let me yeah, I'm not reading that. What is it? Gina Carano
Yeah, Terror
movie
on the
800.
Prairie. Yeah, the box. I may be wrong on my figures here. Oh no, I was wrong. It was $804.
$804. The Western was one of the first movies produced and distributed by the Daily Wire and is part of a larger. The Daily Wire, I believe, is Ben Shapiro's
Yeah,
thing.
it's
That's his thing, and
because he
that's
was
why.
swooping in to save her.
Yeah, he was hard, and unfortunately, it worked on his end of the spectrum because they took her in with open arms, but that there's nothing that type of person wouldn't. So here's the contributor page. Repeatedly, did you know that? Let me see here. The report that The Terror on the Prairie made $804 is based on data from the box office tracking site The Numbers. The Daily Wire doesn't release exact numbers for the movies, but look at their YouTube page shows 85,000 viewers watched a pre-show with the creators' movies. Let me see. I need. There's no way it made $804.
It made $804.
I mean, like, 60 people went to go see.
Yes. It took so much for Disney to fire her. She could have picked any point before that tweet and just shut up. Oh, they actually told her they told her to stop multiple times before they let her go. They were like,
Oh
"We
yeah, they
need
were
you to
mega
stop doing it."
reluctant. Which,
And she was like, "Nope."
yeah, despite Disney being what they claim to be, they when it really comes time to shine, they fall short every time. It's really crazy. I think from their perspective, they don't want to like fall to the PC social warrior type stuff, and I do get
Yeah.
that to an extent because
Yeah.
if you give like the social warrior justice warrior things everything, they're going to demand everything, even when there is nothing to be claimed.
Agreed.
So
100%.
like when there's nothing to be upset about, like genuinely, not like
Mhm.
downplaying a real situation, when there's actually nothing to be upset about, and they still call the shots, but
Yeah.
this was not that. So
No.
like I think
Not at all.
the line is we haven't really seen that line quite yet and on a big scale. So I don't understand the hesitancy when a company is that concerned with public image. Um, it's just so weird. It's so frustrating. Um, anyway, because Disney's drawn lines at weirder shit, and he's gone. All right, everyone. Thank you for being in the
All right,
30-day
no,
trial
I'm
podcast.
listening.
We love you
Sorry.
very much. Thank you for being here. We'll be
I'm
back next
listening.
week, and he's gone. So,
No,
any
I'm
last
here.
words, Mick?
I mean, isn't it just funny how things work sometimes where it's like you think you're all fired up, you're all pumped up because these people came to your fucking rescue and they
And
were
they weren't actually there.
yeah, it's like
You were
if
a
all the
prop for their
people
agenda.
yeah, it's almost like you got used.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that weird? Almost
It's
like
almost
nobody
like we
gave a
all
shit.
knew that.
Yeah.
The minute Ben Shapiro had her in his sights, bam.
I think that's the most
Ugh.
interesting takeaway of it all is like, oh, see, yeah, nobody, he didn't really fucking give a shit. She was just in the new, like, honestly, that's the thing that really killed it off is because, like, if they had released that movie like a week after she got fired,
Yeah.
yeah, probably would have done way better
Yeah.
because people cared and they were invested and
More
it
than
was a hot topic.
$804. Right.
Yeah. But now people have moved on because they don't care. They're doing
No.
other shit now.
Yeah,
Like,
we moved on. That's what happened yesterday. We
yeah,
moved
they're like,
on.
that's yesterday. It was like 2 years ago.
I know.
It was
Well,
like,
in Disney time, it happened yesterday.
yeah.
On the grand scheme of the universe, it happened a second ago.
hmm
Just saying.
Who could have predicted my actions would have consequences?
Yeah, exactly.
Negative ones at that. I'm right.
Freedom of speech. Sorry,
I will say in
I love-
regards to Gina
I
Carano, well,
love
go
that.
woke, go broke, right? That's what they say. That's what
Oh,
they
that's
say.
right. I remember that. I haven't heard that in forever. Thank God I haven't. But
Man,
yeah.
can you imagine $804? Well, we're gonna see. It doesn't actually matter because we're gonna make money off the digital. Right? It's like, no, you're not. You're gonna fucking play it on your goddamn website or YouTube channel and make like shit ad revenue, maybe because nobody wants to watch Gina Carano. who can't fucking act.
No,
Like,
she really fucking can't.
let's call it like it is. Even in Mandalorian, she's can't fucking act.
No,
She's
it's
just
a miracle
attractive.
she got the part because I guarantee there are people who should have.
Yeah, she's
But
very good looking, and that's okay. But she can't
yeah.
act. Yeah, no.
Well,
Hey,
Gina,
Don't spend it all in one place.
and that's what
you
we
bet.
have to say.
She's gonna buy Taco Bell for the cast and crew.
I love that. Get the cheesy bean and rice burrito.
You're gonna be able to get so much Taco Bell.
Nacho Supreme.
It's gonna be great. She's gonna order some Papa John's for the cast and crew.
Some Papa John's. Here's some cardboard for you. All right, guys. Well, good night. Thank you so much for being here.